Does it feel like your partner is a million miles away from you emotionally? Men do pull away emotionally, and today I'm going to break down why it happens and exactly how you can reconnect without chasing, begging, or feeling like you're losing yourself in the process, because you deserve love that feels deeply connected and expansive. Hi gorgeous, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mireille Nicole. I'm the creator of the Happily Ever After method, and I'm all about helping you tackle the tough stuff in love with grace and wisdom. I also post videos about non-toxic living and healthy eating, so if you're into that kind of stuff, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe. Before I dive in, I want you to grab something that will change how you approach your love life, my free relationship success checklist. It's a quick reference sheet that gives you 25 daily actions you can choose from to increase your connection with your partner. I'll link it in the description below. It's my gift to you. I recently surveyed my email list, and the deepest desire of women in my world seems to be stronger emotional connection with their partner. And I totally get that. So let's talk about it today. But first, what is emotional connection exactly? Because I see a lot of different definitions, and I think women interpret this in their own way also. So I want to just create the context for this video by explaining to you exactly what I mean by emotional connection. So emotional connection is built through emotional intimacy, which is the ability to share your feelings, your thoughts, and your desires with your partner. So your internal world, what's going on inside, and not necessarily everything going on inside, but what matters and what will benefit the relationship. And I'm being careful there because if you watch a lot of my videos, you might say, well, Mireille, you're always saying don't share everything. And I don't mean to share like every single little detail all the time or overwhelm your partner with your emotions, but to have true emotional connection and emotional intimacy, you have to be able to share and also receive your partner's emotions to build that connection that it is that you desire. Now, you don't have to feel the same way about everything, but you do need to feel safe enough to, like I just said, to share and to be open enough to listen to your partner. So when he pulls away emotionally, maybe it looks like this for you. Maybe he has short or distant answers, or maybe you've noticed there's less affection or less enthusiasm in the relationship. Maybe he's avoiding deeper conversations and you're noticing that he is a bit avoidant in the relationship. And maybe he's spending more time on his own. Now, those are just a few examples, but emotional disconnection could look like a variety of things in your relationship. And really, what's most important and what will really define this emotional connection or emotional disconnection is how you feel inside, what you're feeling, right? Just to give you a real life example of what that looked like in my relationship with my husband when we were going through our rough patch. Well, the way I felt was I always felt like I was walking on eggshells. I definitely noticed there was less physical touch throughout the day. Our talks were more surface level, and he was going out with his buddies a lot more. And when he was home, he'd be playing video games for hours. And I was feeling super disconnected from him. And that can have you wondering, like it had me wondering, what did I do wrong? What's happening in our relationship? The truth is, him pulling away often has less to do with you being not enough or him not loving you anymore, and more to do with what's happening inside of him. But you don't know what's happening exactly inside of him, right? Because he's emotionally distant, and that's where your frustration is coming up. He's not sharing what's going on. It feels like there's a wall built up between the two of you, that he's likely the one who's built that wall. You can tell there's something, but maybe he brushes it off or he avoids it completely. And so what are you supposed to do in that situation, right? Can this even be fixed? And my answer to you is yes. I've experienced it firsthand, and so have my clients, and some of them in less than 4 weeks. Now let's dive into the 5 reasons he pulls away emotionally and how you can reconnect in each case. So number 1, he feels like he can't win with you. This is a big one. When a man feels like nothing he does is ever good enough, it chips away at his motivation to even try. Maybe he forgets to take out the trash, and instead of noticing all the other ways he contributes, the focus is only on what he he missed. And over time, he starts to think, why do I even bother? Because his efforts don't seem to matter. And the result is he emotionally withdraws to protect himself from feeling like a failure. Men do not want to feel like failures. They want to feel like they can succeed, especially with you in the relationship. But here's how you can reconnect. So shift from criticism to appreciation. Instead of pointing out what he didn't do, highlight what he did right. Just like a simple, I noticed you did that, thank you, can open the door emotionally again. Reason number 2, he doesn't feel respected by you. Men crave respect the way women crave love. If you haven't read the book Love and Respect yet, the author really goes into detail about this. It's a really good read. When he feels dismissed, belittled, or second-guessed constantly, it triggers his deepest fear that he is not valued as a man. And many women won't even realize those subtle comments like, why would you do it that way? Those things can land as disrespectful, or maybe you don't say anything, but move everything around in the dishwasher after he loads it, right? Just those little things can signal to him a lack of respect for his efforts or for his contributions. Without respect, love feels incomplete to him, and men tend to retreat into silence to protect himself rather than to fight for validation. But here's how you can reconnect. Find small ways to express admiration. Just say things like, that's not easy. I love how you handled that situation. I love that one. That's something I love saying all the time. And remember that respect doesn't mean agreeing with everything, right? You don't have to compromise your own beliefs. It just means honoring who he is and what he contributes. You can still have your values. You can still have your standards. Number 3, you aren't having fun together anymore. Relationships often start out super exciting, right? They're filled with laughter, excitement, adventure, and playful energy. But over time, our daily routines, our responsibilities, and stress can turn partners into roommates instead of lovers, right? And when fun disappears, connection feels like a chore rather than something natural, especially for men. Men love to have fun and to laugh. That's really the fuel that keeps that emotional closeness to him. So you can reconnect by bringing back that playfulness, going back to, that lighthearted, fun, flirty woman that he met, right? The person you were in the beginning of the relationship. And I understand that we evolve and we grow. Of course we do in relationships, but we should just always be having, some sort of fun or, bringing back that lightheartedness as much as possible. I realize that there are serious things that happen in life, but to have those moments where you really connect with your partner, make sure that you guys are having a good time together, because after all, life is meant to be enjoyed despite the challenges. Go ahead and get his opinion on an adventure you could do together, or even just laugh together about something silly throughout the day. Shared joy and you being genuinely happy to see him creates that emotional closeness way faster than having some sort of serious talk. You can have serious talks. Sometimes they're important, but make sure they're surrounded also by some fun moments. Okay, number 4, he feels guilt, shame, or blame when he opens up to you. If every time he shares something vulnerable, it turns into judgment, defensiveness, or even blame, he'll stop sharing. And that's actually a healthy boundary. He might begin thinking, it's safer not to tell her how I really feel. And the result from that, obviously, is going to be less openness, less trust, and more distance. You're going to listen. You're still going to be on his team, on his side. So here's how you can reconnect. Practice active listening and being okay when he doesn't want to go too deep yet, because if you use the tools and the skills on this channel, he will eventually go deeper. And make sure to respond with empathy to what he says, even if you don't fully agree. It's not about, again, agreeing. Emotional connection and intimacy is about feeling safe to share your emotions and your feelings. I'm going to say it multiple times because it's just so important. This is about safety. So phrases like, thank you for sharing that with me, or I hear you, can feel like a green light for him to open up, and it will encourage him to do that more often. It's funny because just the other day, my husband shared something deep and vulnerable with me, and I made a point to say to him that it made me feel important when he shared that. And in return, he said, you are important. You see, I don't beg thing for him to say things like that to me. It happens naturally because of how I show up intentionally in my relationship. And the same thing can happen in your relationship too. And reason number 5, it feels like too much. So for some men, emotions can feel overwhelming, especially if conversations turn into deep dives into problems, right? And I said that kind of at the beginning. If every emotional conversation feels heavy, feels draining, or never ending, he'll avoid it. And again, that can be an internal healthy boundary for him. He might start associating emotional connection with stress and exhaustion. And we don't want that, right? It's not going to encourage him to open up. And instead of leaning in, he's going to lean out because it feels like the only way to protect his peace is to do that. And the sad part is that's going to leave you craving closeness, and it's going to make him crave the distance. This might sound controversial, but save the details for your diary or your therapist. And here's how you can reconnect instead. Keep it light, keep it balanced, and keep it intentional. Blend those emotional talks with positive moments carefully. Sometimes when it starts to feel like a lot, just saying, let's take a break and enjoy each other's company right now. That can help him feel safe to come back to deeper topics later. So there you have it, the 5 biggest reasons he pulls away emotionally and exactly how you can reconnect in each situation. Remember, emotional intimacy isn't about oversharing. It's about creating a safe, fun, and respectful place for the both of you to show up as your true selves. Don't forget to download your free relationship success checklist before you go. The link's in the description here, and it's going to give you 25 daily actions that you can start practicing today. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 reasons resonated with you the most? Have you noticed your man pulling away in one of these ways? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. I personally read all your comments. And of course, if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Now, if you're ready for your next step, go watch this video.